include those things. No one representing us. We are headless. We are tribeless. You know, we are partyless. We are faceless. We are fearless, and we are leaderless. No one is representing us. There's no one that's going to meet Museveni representing activists in Uganda. Ugandans represent, people speaking here represent all the problems that are affecting Ugandans. So if Museveni want to meet activists, he should meet all the Ugandan problems that people are discussing about. Otherwise, there's no one that's going to represent Ugandan problems. Uganda's problems are very big. They are bigger than someone meeting an individual. So that's why all of us are activists. So how is he going to meet the 45 Ugandans who are aggrieved by what they have done? So we refuse that, we reject that, and we won't accept. Bernardino, please, chikwatemu or designing kakundi akalunji, then include that. Faceless, tribeless, all that. I think I've put it in the comment section. You can get some idea with geographic work and see how. But that is what Natif is trying to do. Is trying to sell Ugandans, getting money on his own, trying to purport to represent us, which is actually very wrong. Please, members, request the mic and speak to us. Also, share the link on your timeline. Invite as many people as possible. We begin this conversation slowly. Madways, I appreciate your work. Everyone that is doing a lot of work. Bernardino, I appreciate you guys. Your work is so great. I'm happy that all your work is trending, and this is something that's so important. Very nice. So members, please share the link on your timeline and let us have a very wide conversation in this early morning. How can we involve people? Yes, involving people includes tagging them and all that. If you want someone to participate, please tag them. And yes, of course, when we get Natif, we shall ask him. When he comes here, we shall ask him those questions. But before that, let's engage him on our individual level. Public Square does not represent the problems of the country, and so him meeting the president does not in any way represent activists on social media and the problems of Uganda. We don't have anyone, we don't have any leader, and if Museveni want to meet Natif, and Public Square is meeting them on their own, their issues, their conversation does not in any way represent Uganda's problems. He's just meeting them. Otherwise, that is always a trick. That's always a trap where Museveni meets people that are speaking against him and compromises them. And people, like another way of people getting money from him, telling him that, we are going to silence them. You just give us some 500 million maybe. We'll share with them and all that. And then someone will come out and say, Ugandan acts, we got money. Do you remember the incident of musicians and all that Ugandan acts got money and all this? But now, all that is done because they are desperate. They don't want Ugandans to rise up. They understand that Ugandans can do this. So they are trying to do everything to make sure that Ugandans cannot rise up. So they are trying to center a conversation between activists and Museveni, which is wrong. So we won't accept as Ugandans because we are more than those activists that in Public Square. Public Square doesn't represent us, doesn't represent Uganda. What we are talking about here are Uganda's problems, and those are the problems that want to be solved. If they are not solved, then meeting activists is just some few activists is a wastage of time. So we will not accept that. Let us go against that publicly in our ways. If Natif comes here, of course, I will ask those questions. But even before that, we will individually challenge those meetings that are arranged between Public Square and Museveni. So members, share the link on your timeline and invite as many people as possible. Please request the mic and speak as we extend this conversation. Remember, the focus is March to Parliament, stop corruption. 23rd July, it's still biggest focus that is making them now tremble. Yesterday they crashed all like 4 of our spaces. I have been blocking here hackers on in this space. I was always blocking them. They come here and they hack and they disrupt the space. So I will block them always. I will block them. I will block the hackers. I can see them from here that this one is a hacker. This one is a hacker. This one's a. There's the one that I blocked, and is a hacker. Before we closed yesterday, I blocked it and it stayed there. It means that is a very big hacker. Because the first one I blocked, it didn't go. It went immediately after being blocked. But this one, I blocked it and it didn't go. That means that one is a very strong. So government is trying a lot of things to do so that they can disrupt this space because they fear what Ugandans are cooking. So you continue to cook, share those things on your timeline, and let the message spread. Okay, members here, please all request the mic and speak to us. And let's have a conversation flow. Yes, Sir Alan. Don't forget the space. We are just beginning. We have just begun 25 minutes ago. Please share the space on your timeline. Let's invite as many people as possible. Request the mic to speak. All of you guys are going to speak. And let us begin in power and let us begin in energy. Remember, we are mobilizing for 23rd July. Let us continue to mobilize. Invite as many people as possible. Today is Sunday. We can have so many people on a Sunday day. So you guys who have just come to right now, you be the first people to call as many people as possible because Sunday is an open day. For us, this is our Sunday service. Remember, those going to churches, don't forget to tell them to shout at the thugs in churches. Don't allow them to be given a microphone. When they get a microphone, shout at them that Jesus wasn't a thief. Sir Alan.
Good morning, team. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I was waiting for this space. Actually, I turned on the notification so that I can hear the app because they said I wasn't able to listen. I was able to listen in, but I wasn't able to share. And so I didn't get to know some of the programs like TikTok. I created an account on TikTok. I had an account, and I've been sharing a few videos, a few content from here, and I think we're really doing great. This is the last day of June, and we're entering the protest month, July, and I think we still have a long way to go. We still have to encourage very many people. Yesterday, when I was talking to a few of my friends, they felt like this is an alien idea. They couldn't believe that we're actually strong. And what I did, I turned on the space and I listened in. And I got to know that there are very many people out there who are thinking like me, who are actually positive that this is going to work. And then they bought in. They were positive after. Yeah.
That's nice.
The last time I contributed to this space, I raised a few points. I raised 2 points. One of them was starting now and starting from where you are. When even on the final day, you don't have to first convert somewhere and then let's you start moving. Start from where you are and move to the square. In whatever, because it's very easy to convert you if you're concentrated in one area. But if you guys are coming from all directions, those from Makinde are coming from Makinde, those are coming from Nansana are walking from Nansana, those are coming from Kamocha, those are coming from Naguru. It's very difficult for the police or the army to use brute force on a very dispersed population. So that's one. The second point was non-violent communication. When we were communicating to even people who are against us, because that's the best way we can communicate that we are non-violent. If we meet people from the army or the police or the NRM who are really violent against us, we try to get to understand them, try to talk to them non-violent, try to tell them your point, minus being, because people, if you be violent and harsh on them, throw stones or start abusing right away without explaining your point, they'll turn the anger from your point, from your real point, to your violence, and then start fighting your violence. And sometimes they even legitimize their violence because of your initial violence. So those are 2 points. Today there's 1 point I wanted to communicate. I don't know whether I'll be on the space because I'm going to church later, but I think maybe if someone buys into it, they can communicate it for other people who are going to join later. I think the importance of reaching out to student bodies. There's a group I'm in of freshers who are joining in August. The young Gen Zs who are joining campus in August. Very many people. When I share these pictures, someone was asking, what is this? They seemed like they don't even know there's a protest coming up. They were just talking about other things, like, teenagers who are just coming, who are excited to be joining campus. They were really green about this. And I tried to explain to them. I sent them the link from the space to their WhatsApp. And then the admin deleted it at some point. Because he was thinking of I'm inviting politics into that group. Then I told them, man, we are talking about your future. You can't avoid your future. You can't avoid politics unless you're willing to be a slave for life. I was almost removed from the group because of that. I realized the importance of reaching out. Because for me, when I was in Makerere, right, in Makerere we used to do protests, but then the police used to turn them into riots in the course of that. That's what they can, because they can easily start violence by being so violent on you. And the students of Makerere never wanted to know. They used to go violent after that, and then they dispersed the protest. But if we can get students of Makerere peacefully marching from Makerere, it's through the Students' Guild, because the Students' Guild, I think it's inside of the people, it was voted by the people, and I know Makerere students have our same understanding. They agree with this idea. And the Students' Guild is a new guild president. I know he will be reachable. It's not, if he was an NRM guild president, it's very hard to mobilize people who are already the people you are trying to fight, So if we could reach out to Chambogo, Moops, and all these people, start moving. You can't tell me that they're going to deploy at Bositema, they deploy in Nkumba, they deploy in Makerere, and then they have to deploy also in the city center. We shall overwhelm them if we encourage the student bodies to join us in huge numbers, and they declare this during July. The people are most sympathetic to these people in campus because they're young and they're children. There's no way police can use a lot of force on them, because for us, when we go on the street, they say, okay, it's at your face, let's beat them up. But you can't beat up people who are clearly students from Makerere University marching, just walking around. So that was the point I wanted to bring out. If there's a way we could get into these spaces for the student bodies, and then we invite them to join us, join this cause, that would be a very good thing. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.